Hello and welcome to the daily coaching lockdown football training session. So today's session number 5, and today I have 4 key parts to the session for you. So we're going to start off with a warm-up. We have 2 different ball mastery exercises, and we also have a passing exercise as well. So for the warm-up, what you're going to need is you're going to need 6 different objects. I've got some cones. If you don't have access to cones, don't worry. You can have anything from jumpers to trainers to jackets, toilet rolls, anything you can get your hands on, okay? You're also going to need a ball and a space. So once you've got your 6 objects, once you've got your space, once you've got your ball, we're ready to start. Cool. So for this warm-up, you'll see that I've got my 6 objects out like so, okay? Although there's 2 lines of 3, each cone is slightly diagonal to the opposite one, okay? So to create some change of direction for us, not only forwards and backwards, but also to our left and to our right as well. Although I've got a ball in my hands, what I'm going to advise, and I'm going to show you first of all, is if you're of that younger age group, or perhaps less experienced, or of that lower ability group, what I'm going to ask you to do is not start with your ball, put your ball to the side. And what you're going to do is you're going to start by one of the cones, like so over here. And all you're going to do is you're going to be running forwards and then backwards. Forwards, backwards. Forwards, backwards. Like so. Okay? Again, if you have a bigger space, obviously more appropriate because you can get some further distances in here. But again, it's a warm up, so we just want to get nice and warm. We're going forwards and backwards repetitively. Okay, so we're speeding up, slowing down. Speeding up, slowing down. So a few more of these. Okay, now, remember the key thing with this one is we're warming up, so we're going to change our speed quite repetitively and quite continuously. Okay, so we're constantly either speeding up or slowing down. Okay, so speeding up, slowing down. Speeding up, slowing down. Speeding up, slowing down. Okay, just like again these are type of movements that you might make within a game of football. So to progress it, what you're going to do is you're going to get the ball. And I'd like you to be a bit more comfortable and confident here, okay? So you can decide to explore with the ball however you like, alright? You might use just one foot. So for example, here I'm going in the same motion of forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards. Okay, but I might just use one foot, stop, go back, forwards, and go back again, and go forwards. Stop, go backwards, forwards, stop, backwards, like so. Now, again, if you're of that lower ability group or less experienced within the game, my advice to you would be one of 2 things. Number 1, make sure that when you get to the cone, you stop, and make sure that ball's under control, or number 2, don't go backwards. Okay, just change your direction and then travel forwards again. Stop, change your direction, forwards again. Stop, stop. Super. Okay, so that's if you're of that lower ability group or the less experienced group. Okay. Now, if you're more advanced, I would like you to go forwards and backwards, okay? I'd like you to try and get as many touches as possible using both of our feet. So you may have noticed I use the inside of my feet to go forwards, I use the soles of my feet to go backwards. Inside to go forwards, soles to go backwards, inside. And again, if you're more advanced, keep that ball continuously moving, alright? So, I'm going backwards, backwards, backwards. Not letting that ball stop. Here's the warm up. So we don't want to slow ourselves down. Like so. Okay, so a few different variations in there, but really important for our warm-up and to get our body nice and loose and ready for our activities. We're making our movements in different directions, so we're going to our right, we're going to our left, we're going forwards, we're going backwards, we're changing our speeds as well. So we're speeding up to get to the cone picture in front of us, then slowing down once we approach it, And again, similar when we're going back as well. Okay, we're doing it at quite a speed because perhaps there's a defender in front of us and we want to try and get away as quickly as possible. So, give it a go. A few different variations there which you can try out. You can possibly even try and go around the cone as well if you're limited with space. So you might go into the cone and go around it. Okay, and then again, around the cone. Again, around the cone. Like so, okay? So again, you're just getting more and more touches of that ball, practicing our techniques without almost even knowing it, because it is just a warm-up and it's trying to get our body nice and prepared for our activities, okay? But like I said, a few different variations. Bigger space you have, the more effective your movements will be, and also as well, you can really try and get some constant speed going in there, so some constant changes of fast speeds and reacting quicker to slow down as well. Give it a try. Cool, so that was our warm-up. So remember, for our warm-up, some of the key points to take away from that is that we're getting lots of repetition within our movement. We're changing our direction, so we're going forwards and backwards, and we're also changing our speed as well. So at times speeding up, and also at times slowing down. It's really important that for our warm-up, we get nice and warm, so we're getting lots of repetition of that movement in, and those different changes of direction and changes of speed as well. So now we're going to move into our ball mastery exercise, and for this, you're going to need to keep 5 of those objects which you just used in the warm-up, and you're also going to need your space and your ball still. So once you've got your 5 objects, once you've got your space, and once you've got your ball, we're ready to start. Right, so for this ball mastery exercise, although I asked you to get 5 objects, I'm actually only going to start with 4, and I've set them out like so. So it's almost like in the shape of a rectangle, okay? My 5th object I actually have on top of one of the other cones. If you don't have cones, you obviously can't pile things up on top of each other, then just put the 5th one to the side and we'll use it during this practice, alright? So, what you're going to do is you're going to start at one end of the rectangle, and all I want you to do is, again, exploring using different parts of the feet. I'm going to use my sole of the foot to begin with, using my left and my right foot. I'm just going to travel to the opposite end and go around or through the opposite end of the rectangle, okay? So as an example, go around on this side, this one will go through, around again. Okay, so just get in the practice of travelling and changing your direction quite constantly, okay? So I'm with my sole, to stop it, to control it, change the direction in which I'm travelling. You'll notice that when I get around to the cones and I'm changing my direction, I'm keeping a really close control of that ball. Okay, so no one can get away from me, and I'm making quite a sharp turn. Right? Okay, number 3 then. So, as you'll notice, like I said, I was using the sole of my foot there. Now we're going to move on to using the inside and outside of our foot, and then we'll combine all 3 together. But really important, as I said, as I'm getting close by to the cone, I'm changing my direction. 2 things. Number 1, the ball is under control, okay? And number 2, whether that be through just stopping it if you're of the younger age group, or again, less experienced or lower ability, you can stop it, change the direction, then continue moving. Or you're just taking really little touches to help change the direction of the ball, as you also change the direction of your body as well, alright? But using the inside and outside of our feet now, so again, travelling around. Remember we said before about inside and outside walk, inside and outside to help us change our direction, push it into a space. Again, more space we have for this one, the better, because the more movements that you can make, the more touch on the ball that you can get. Couple more. Keep your head up if you can so you know where you're travelling to. Okay, and so on. So, this time we're going to combine all 3 movements, so inside, outside, and sole of the foot. And again, just helping me to keep control of the ball and change that direction in which I want to try and hit towards. Alright, your area does start to move around, and let's just put it back. Another variation or challenge is obviously you can make the areas or the kind of close together at each end, so it's a bit of a tighter area which you're working within, or again you can expand the rectangle longer as well, so you've got more distance to travel over. Your choice, and again make it appropriate to you. Okay, so this time, use the combination of all three movements, inside, soft, and outside. And if you're more advanced, see if you can travel a little bit quicker, especially if you've got those tight spaces as well, which you're working within. We decided to put those closer together on each end. A couple more. Not over it, through it. Okay, and freeze there. So, lots of repetition on touching on that one. Using my left, using my right, okay? Changing my direction, and really constantly keeping that ball moving, alright? Really good one for your techniques, and also a really good one to become more comfortable and confident using the ball with different parts of the feet as well. Now, final challenge. Get your spare cone and a spare object which you have with you. Just place it directly in the middle of that rectangle, okay? So look something like this. All you're going to be doing, exactly the same movements again. I'm going to combine all those soles of the foot, insides, outsides, but I need to try and avoid that cone in the middle now, okay, as I go through the area. So, almost acts as a bit of a defender, be as creative as you want. As you're going through, you might just do a little skill, go around them, they might do a little bit with the skies, to get around them. Be as creative as you want, but you need to avoid that cone in the middle, right? Go for about 30 seconds. Think about which parts of your feet you might need to touch the ball and keep it towards, so you're not crashing into that cone in the middle. How are you going to go around it? Now not only both ends, but also when you're going into the middle as well, making sure you keep it away. Last few. Okay, and freeze there. So, a few different variations. Really importantly towards the end, really making sure that ball is under control so we can avoid contact with that cone in the middle, okay? Additional challenge for those who are more advanced or at a higher ability level, try and see if when going past that cone in the middle, you can keep that ball on the opposite side to the cone, okay? So again, treat it as a defender, act as if you're trying to protect the ball, also trying to get past them. Remember what I've spoken about in previous sessions of having the ball with you before, during that movement, and then also after that movement as well. Okay, so I'm keeping that ball with me on my journey. Quite a challenging one, because it's quite repetitive, quite physically demanding, but lots of good techniques to work on there, and some great ideas to be able to become more confident and comfortable using the ball and really developing our techniques. Right, so that was our ball mastery exercise. Now remember, some of the key points for the ball mastery exercise is that very similar to the warm-up, we're doing lots of changes of direction, but we're keeping it more of a constant speed. At times you may have to slow down when you're turning left or turning right, but when we're heading forward, we're changing our speed slightly, so we're starting to accelerate, okay? Again, as we always say within all of the sessions, it's really important that you do it on your way to the left and your right foot, and we're practicing and developing those techniques of using the insides and outsides of our feet and the sole of our foot, all to help us control the ball and also to change direction as well, which is really important within that exercise. So, now we're going to move into our passing exercise, and for this you only need one of the objects, so keep hold of one of them. You're still going to need your ball, you're still going to need a space, but this time as well you're going to need a flat surface. So I again suggest maybe a wall or a door, whether that be inside or outside, but once you've got your flat surface, once you've got your object, and once you've got your ball in your space, we're ready to go. Right, so for this passing exercise, what you're going to do is you're going to put your object just in front of your flat surface. So I've got mine just in front of my wall. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just behind it, and I'm going to start with my ball in front of me and slide to the side of that object. Okay, so let's treat that object as a defender within the game. What I want you to do is start by using the inside of your foot. You're going to pass directly in front of you, stop, roll it across, stop, and then you're going to pass with your opposite foot. Stop, roll it across, stop, roll it across, like so. Okay, you should get some repetition in of that, alright? So when you're ready, we'll go for about 30 seconds. Again, the most important thing is you're just working on the technique of passing directly in front of you, and then that controlling of the ball once you receive it as well. And so on. Okay, now what you'll notice is what I'm doing, two key things here for this. Obviously I'm making sure the ball's under control. So number one, I'm making sure my body's balanced and that I'm on my toes and that I'm ready actually to make the pass. Obviously in the game, we want to make sure our teammate is ready to receive the ball. So now I make my pass, I'm on my toes, ready to receive that ball again. Okay, I'm staying on my toes, so then I can quickly react and get it onto my opposite foot. Right, so two important things there. Number one, are you ready to make the pass? So are you balanced? Are you ready to make that pass with your toes? Are you ready to receive it as well? That's what's going to help you to become more effective in this exercise, alright? And obviously as well, making sure that the side of your foot is facing directly against your flat surface, okay? So then that's where we want the ball to travel, right? So that's the first part. The second part, which we're going to move on to now, is that when you receive the ball, okay, so movement's happening a little bit quicker, because remember, if that is a defender, we don't want to receive it and then stand still. It's going to give them more time, and it means there's going to be less space around us to be able to react and get out of that situation, whether it's us dribbling or whether it's us passing the ball, right? So what's going to happen is, pass the ball, roll to the side, then stop. Okay? Once you're ready, take a pass, roll, stop. Roll, stop. Roll, stop. Make sure again, remember if you can, that the ball is away from the defender, away from that cone, because obviously you want to try and avoid them from making contact with it. But obviously again, it will depend on the area and the size that you have available to work within, okay? Cool. Now, something else you could possibly do, because obviously sometimes using the sole of the foot, although it's a really good trait to be able to have, and it's a good technique to use, what you may have to do is you may have not enough time to be able to use the sole and react, so instead, you're using the inside. Alright? So that'll be something else we try and do now. Oops, stop again. Inside, stop. Inside, stop. Inside, stop. Okay, and again, it's a different technique which we can use to react, receive, and take that first touch away from the defender. Alright, really, really important. Okay, a couple of things. So number one, if you're of the younger age group or lower ability group, real key thing is you just want to focus on that technique. So although this is a defender, try not to be too focused on that, okay? And just have to focus on the passing and the receiving element. If you're more advanced and of that higher ability age group, then I will be expecting you to think about that first touch, take it away or onto the opposite foot. Remember we spoke about in previous sessions of trying to see if you can take that ball away and put it onto the safe side. Okay, so that there's a distance or a gap or something blocking between the defender and where the ball is. Alright? And again, you can be as creative as you want with this one. So it may be that you start deciding to make some diagonal passes, so you might pass in that way and receive it on the opposite side. Okay? You could possibly try and do some creative skills, such as my pass in, hit it behind you. Okay, that might be another way you can do it. Pass in, hit it behind you. Again, hit it behind you. Okay, you're just trying to be as creative as you can with that first touch, that first reaction. Okay, it's really important. If I'm passing on my right hand side, I want to try and use my right foot. If I'm passing on my left hand side, I want to try and use my left foot. Okay, that's where we're really going to start to become more confident and comfortable using both of our feet. Okay, again, if there's, say for example, a teammate who's on my left hand side, I don't want to get my feet muddled up by doing my right foot, okay, because then potentially defenders are approaching on my right hand side, so I want to do it on my left. Okay, exactly the same if it's on the right, I want to make the pass on my right, because if the defender's approaching on my left, then obviously I'm going to have a problem if I do use my foot. Right, so a few different variations there. Give it a try. The key things to think about is when you're making that pass, how much power do you need to put into that pass to be able to actually receive it back again, and that first touch, that control, to make sure that that ball is in your possession. They're the two key things to think about in this exercise. Give it a try, give it a go, and see how you get on. Right, so that was our passing exercise. Now remember, some of the key points for the passing exercise that we was really looking to develop our technique, okay? Our technique of using the inside of our foot, but also starting to combine some of our movements by using the sole of the foot to either control the ball or sole roll it so that we're moving it onto the opposite foot, okay? Now that's going to be really important within a game because, say for example, if you receive it on your right and then maybe there's a defender on your right hand side, you want to use the sole of the foot to roll the ball away from the right hand side and onto the left hand side, okay? And remember that when we're making those passes, because we're looking at the technique, it's really important to get lots of repetition in again, okay? It's really, really important to help us develop, become comfortable and become confident as well. So now we're moving into another ball mastery exercise, and for this you're going to need a space, but this time you're going to need 2 balls, okay? So once you've got your space, once you've got your 2 balls, we're ready to go. Cool. Now for this ball mastery exercise, it's quite a tough challenge, I'll be honest with you, okay? Just so that you're prepared for this mentally and physically as well. Okay, there's lots of moving around, there's lots of reactions going on, but what you're going to do is, remember I said you need 2 balls for this exercise. You're going to start with both of the balls on the ground, and all I want you to try and do is basically move around the area, so it's almost similar to a bit of a warm-up really. There's no real rules and structure with this, although later on I'll talk about how you could add some structure into it. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to be moving around, but taking both of the balls with you at the same time, okay? So you're going to try and think about where you're going, and can you triangle the balls to go with you at the same time as well? Alright, so it's quite a tough one. Think about using both of your feet, using different parts of the feet as well. Try and avoid the balls from bouncing into each other. Think about what types of touches you're going to have to take so that the ball's not rolling away. Like so. And you're getting a load of different touches in here. See if you can try and avoid the ball from bouncing into anything or each other, which is the other balls as well. Okay, keep moving, try and make sure the ball doesn't stop as well. Whoa, last few seconds. Like I said, really tough one, okay, because you're constantly moving around, you're constantly having to be aware, and you're also having to react a lot as well, okay? You're reacting based on the movement of the balls, okay? So it could be that, say for example, one ball goes in that direction, one goes in that direction. You've got to think about, problem solve, make decisions based on which ball is the priority, which you need to go and get in control of, which one's travelling at a quicker speed, okay? And which one do you need to gain control of. As well, the key thing which we're now going to focus on is we've spoken about the techniques of using the inside of our feet, the outside of the sole to help us change our direction. This is going to be important in this one, okay? Because say for example the ball's getting away from me, it's going in this direction. I want to change the direction of the ball so that I can get control of the other one as well. Okay, that's going to be really, really important. To gain control of the other one, opposite direction, opposite direction, opposite direction, opposite direction. Okay, and so on. So, I've spoken quite heavily about changes of direction, moving our body so we're facing different directions as well. That's going to be really, really crucial because remember that when we change direction, or sorry, when the ball changes direction, we also have to do exactly the same thing. So, we'll go on one more occasion, but a few different variations and challenges. Alright? Now, like I said, this is going to be tough. So what I would say is if you're of that lower age group, or that lower ability level, okay, number one, if it hits some objects, as long as it doesn't break anything, then that's absolutely fine, okay? If the ball comes to a natural stop as well, then that's absolutely fine as well. Because again, some of you may just be trying to develop movements with one ball, let alone two, okay? So, as I'm moving around, if it does hit an object, that's fine. Just make sure that we keep on moving the other ones around. And we're just getting used to getting lots of, again, touches on the ball, okay? Varying our different touches which we might be able to make. Now, if you're of the more advanced group, what I would do is I'd say to you, have a little bit of a challenge. You might use your left foot for one of the balls, right foot for the other one. Okay, so my right foot's going to use that green one, left foot's going to use the white one. Okay, I'm just practicing, making sure that I'm not just predominantly using one of my feet, okay? Ooh. And so on. Now, again, another key point to think about and consider within this exercise is making sure your touch is only little. Sometimes you might have the urgency or the habit of trying to see if you can, if what the ball's trying in one direction, quickly get it away and turn in the opposite direction. If you do that, then that's going to lead to the ball getting away from you quicker. Okay, so watch this. This time we're going to take really little touches to really master these techniques and to help keep a better control of the ball. Alright? As long as the ball is still a bit on the flow, that's absolutely fine. Whoa. Little touches just to try and help direct where I want the ball to go. And again, I'm using the soles and the inside of the feet just to slow that pace the ball down a little bit, okay? Control it, slow it down, control it, slow it down, control it, slow it down, and so on. Now, like I said, that's a tough one, but just get lots of repetition into it. Make sure we explore with both feet, make sure we explore different parts of the feet as well. So inside, outside, sole. And the main things are, that number one, we're trying to react and change the direction of the ball, to which way it's moving. Number two, we're trying to keep control of it. And in keeping control of it, we're trying to slow down the movement of that ball. Okay? To make sure it doesn't come to a complete halt, but we're just trying to slow down that movement of the ball. Similar to when we were doing a session where we were looking at the soles of the feet, we were pushing the ball to the opposite direction, okay? We're just directing and slowing that ball down. Give it a try, a few different variations there, but like I said, I'll be honest with you, it is a tough one. So just keep at it, keep repetitive movements going, and see how you get on. Give it a try. Cool, so that's in the session 5. Let's just very quickly recap on some of the key points from today's sessions. So remember, there was a big heavy focus on combining our movements. So whether that be our fundamental movements of changing speed or changing direction, so going left, right, forwards, backwards, or speeding up, or slowing down and understanding when, where and how to do that. We was also looking at combining our movements within our technique, within our ball mastery, so using the insides and outsides of our feet and the sole of our foot to either help us control the ball or again change direction or possibly even react like we've done today, okay? So moving the foot on from one ball, so maybe from our left onto our right or vice versa from our right to our left. Okay, I really hope that you liked today's session. Please make sure, as always, you subscribe, like, comment and interact with the video. Let us know how you get on. share some of the good feedback, and also please make sure you let us know any types of sessions or exercises that you want to see, and we'll make sure to try and get them in. But I hope to see you in the next session. Good luck, and I'll see you then.